Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is part 2 to our Alice in Borderland review. If you guys haven't seen the first one, we will link it in the description box below. Check it out before you watch this one.
So episode 5 was the beach episode. Our two main characters get to the beach and are taken in where they meet the king of the beach, who is Hatter. He tells them that you must collect all of the cards in order to escape, and only one person can escape at a time. So they've gathered a lot of the cards, except for just like one card of each suit, and one of the main ones that are left is the 10 of hearts, which is probably going to be the toughest game. So what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was a pretty good episode. They kept talking about the beach and we finally get to see the beach. I didn't think it was gonna be like a building. I thought it was gonna be like an actual beach, you know?
Well, yeah, it actually wasn't really a beach. It was like a hotel resort type of thing. Yeah, they were just like people chilling at the pool, so it wasn't really a beach.
But I thought it was a pretty good episode. What did you think?
I liked it. I think it was a good intro to the beach. All of the characters at the beach. We meet the blonde guy from episode 2 again, who's there. We also meet the military guy. Yeah, so at this beach, the military has power, as well as the executives who work underneath Hatter. And Hatter sort of likes Aritsu, our main character. He likes Aritsu because Aritsu has the 7 of hearts, so he was kind of impressed that he was able to get that card.
Like he had the potential to betray people, I guess. Yeah.
So they put Aritsu through the water game, and once the water reaches the electric pillars, then everybody dies and everybody gets electrocuted and dies. So they must figure out which switch turns on the light bulb. And they only have one chance.
Yeah, one chance when the door is open. And when anybody is inside of the room, then
door can't close.
Yeah, the door can't close.
So what did you think of that game?
I like that game a lot. I feel like it's a game that made a lot of sense.
How so?
Like, you just have to use theories, like common sense. So how did you feel about the game?
I thought it was pretty clever. It was the 4 diamonds, so it should be sort of easy, which it kind of was, but it took some, like you said, common sense. I thought they had to use like the sound of the switch, or like the sound of the electricity to determine which one turns it on, but the water was so loud, it was way too hard to hear the electricity. But yeah, I like the game. I like the episode. Other than that, there wasn't much else.
Alright, so what would you rate episode 5?
I would give it a 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
I actually liked it a little better than you, I guess. I give it an 8. I think.
Why would you give it an 8?
Because we finally see the beach, and then we get introduced to like more main characters. They're not really main characters anymore, but we get to see like more faces. And it's like a new setting compared to where they were in the other episode.
I gave it a 6 because I feel like there was a lot of exposition, a lot of like explaining, a lot of just that type of stuff, and nothing really happened. And the game was okay, but it was kind of easy. This episode didn't really revolve around the game. It was more the beach and figuring things out.
But I felt like we need that explanation.
Oh yes, we did need that. Okay, so episode 6, Hatter dies. So the militants are put in charge by force, and they pretty much like bully and rule this place with their guns and make people do whatever they want. So the blonde hair guy from episode 2 tries to recruit Aritsu into his plan, which is to steal all of the cards and run away. So they go along with this plan, but it turns out that he was using Aritsu to figure out where the actual safe that held the box of cards were.
Which was really smart. But I didn't expect that. I thought he was actually like down to find like the cards together.
No, that guy, I knew he was very sketchy, or very, what's the right word? Well, I mean, he's like super smart and super clever. He reminds me a lot of Aritsu. Like they're both like sort of this quiet, like smart type of people. But he's more of a strategist. So he thinks like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. where Aritsu is faced with the problem and he thinks of it real quick. He pretty much sets up Aritsu. They tie him up so that he just dies in the hotel room.
Where his visa is up. Then he'll just get killed.
The guy that you hate takes the girl and tries to rape her.
I don't know if I hate him yet. I kind of just want to break away from just the episodes and just say that I think they did a really good job at making these characters who they are. Because I feel like that guy played his role so well that I just can't stand him.
Oh yeah, this episode had great actors and great acting. All of the militants, you can see like their personalities and their character. Like the weird tattoo guy with the sword. That guy's freaky and scary, you know?
And he kept twitching his face, which kind of annoyed me a little bit too.
Yeah.
But that's who he is.
Yeah, the guy with the sniper who's like kind of like a pervert.
Very nasty.
Alright, so what did you think of this episode?
I think it was just an okay episode. It kind of went downhill for me for this episode because it's supposed to be like this very happy place and stuff, and all of a sudden you start seeing like all the bad things within the beach.
Turn quickly, huh? Yeah. When the main characters first arrive at the beach, everything's like all sunny and sunshines and rainbows. And then by one episode, it's like Hatter dies. The militants take over. They're like pushing everybody around. There's like dead bodies in a dumpster. It's pretty...
Oh my god, yeah.
It gets pretty dark real quick. Yeah, other than that, it wasn't the best episode because there wasn't a game. So that it was kind of just like them lingering around. So, what would you rate it?
I will give it a 6.
6?
Yes.
I would actually give this one a 5.
Okay, so you don't...
My lowest score so far.
You also don't like it. It's
Yeah.
also my lowest score.
Alright, so episode 7, the 10 of Hearts games start at the beach. So everybody has to play. And there's about like a couple hundred people. They must figure out who killed that girl.
And that person is the witch.
Yes, this game's called Witch Hunt. They must find the witch before 2 hours. So what'd you think of the game?
It was like a lot of killing. It was like the most brutal game so far. But I do think the way they introduced the game was really cool. Because the blonde hair guy tried to leave.
He almost left.
Yeah.
He almost got to leave and it's like, whoops. So the killing was completely unnecessary. A lot of people die.
It was crazy.
A whole lot of people die. What else happened? Oh, so one thing I didn't like about this episode was that Aritsu was tied up the whole episode. So he was like non-existent. He couldn't help anybody. He couldn't do nothing. But if he was there, he probably would have solved the game like early on. So that would have ended things.
Well, I just felt like there wasn't a lot that went on in this episode. It was just pretty much that game and a lot of people died.
Well, this episode should have been called like Chaos because it was just chaos.
Yeah.
People running around, all of the militants and people with guns shooting them, hunting them down. They killed so many people that they ran out of bullets at the end. And then other than that, my most favorite thing about this episode was the fight scene between the karate girl and the sword guy.
Because we found out that girl used to be a boy.
This episode did such a good job in like telling their backstories in like a short minute or two. So like they quickly summarized everything about this character in a couple minutes, and that gives you so much more information on who they are and like where they came from and where they are now.
It kind of made you connect with the character a little more.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. Even like the crazy swordsman guy, like he was like a recluse. He was like a shy introvert guy who just lives like at home and like blogging on like the internet with no comments, no viewers on his blogs and shit.
You're so mean.
No, they literally show that part.
I know, but you're still so mean for pointing it out.
Like him coming into that parallel world is his first taste of life. He's been like cooped up in his like bedroom, his like freaking super small bedroom, and just typing on his little laptop like his whole life. So him being exposed to the real world and having to like fight for his life, like that really changed him. and that just turned him kind of crazy too.
And that's kind of the same as the guy that I didn't like, or the guy that I hate.
Oh yeah.
Because he was kind of like a loser too. And then that's why he became the person he is during the little game thing.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would have showed the white hair guy's background.
See, I feel like they're waiting to do that.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wish they would show that, but I think his character should be sort of mysterious.
Yeah.
I think that plays to his character. So I think it was a good decision they didn't do that to him. But yeah, that fight scene was awesome. I liked it a lot. Did you like it?
Yeah, well, I think that was the best thing about this episode too.
Yeah, just the choreography and like the slow motion parts, and they used a lot of good tactics and good fighting skills.
Okay, so what would you rate this episode?
I would give this a 6. It's kind of low, I know, but I think it's not as good as some of the other ones. Mainly because Aritsu wasn't really in this one.
So you wanted him to be in it?
Yeah, I did.
I will also give it a 6. I didn't like it so much. I honestly didn't care about the character's background story. Even though it was kind of nice to see where they came from, I didn't care about that because they're all gonna die anyways.
I did like the game though, the witch hunt game, but I didn't like this stupid killing.
Yeah, I didn't like the way they took it. I wish they would actually try to find who the witch was.
Yeah, it would have been interesting
Yeah.
for like them to do some sort of like going through each person one by one and verifying where they were at and stuff like that. Alright, so the last episode of the season, episode 8. So Aritsu is freed by the mountain climber girl and some of the other people. He figures out who is the witch. They go down to the lobby where everybody's at. By now, all of the militants have run out of bullets, so they can't shoot anybody. Aritsu starts talking to Aguni, right? And he pretty much reveals that it was Aguni who killed Hatter. But he didn't kill him on purpose. He killed him out of self-defense. And it turns out that Aguni and Hatter are very, very good friends. Very close friends. Aguni wants everybody to believe that he's the witch. So he pretty much just comes out and says, like, I'm the witch.
Come at me.
So yeah, he kind of wants to die at this point. That's what I'm feeling. He doesn't care anymore because his friend died. And that's the only person he probably knew in this parallel universe. So he really hates the beach. He wants to die. He admits to being the witch, and everybody starts like suspecting him and trying to burn him because they have to burn a witch before the 2 hours are up.
Well, after Aritsu kind of like talked to him, we kind of start seeing his soft side. I think that was like the first time we actually saw like the soft side of him.
It took a long time though.
Yeah.
Because every time Aritsu approached him, like he got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
He got punched in the face and kicked and knocked to the ground.
We find out that there was 2 dealers, or was it just one dealer?
Oh yeah. So the girl who died and her friend, they were dealers of this entire game. So that means they have to set up the game, and sometimes they participate and try to kill the other people. The former detective girl, who's an executive, she runs in and reveals that, or confirms that that girl did kill herself, and she's the witch. So they have to burn her. So they bring the girl to the stake and they burn her. So everybody wins, except for those who have died.
Alright. Which is a lot.
And then also we didn't mention the blonde hair guy. He picks up the 10 of hearts from the beach since they passed the game.
Obviously.
So now he has all of the numbered cards, and we're just waiting for the face card games, which is gonna be really fun. What'd you think of this episode?
I have the same feeling as the other one. I wasn't wowed by it.
Yeah, same here. I think like the last 3 episodes are like very similar, and they all fall within the same rating for me.
Okay, so rating this entire show, what would you give it?
I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow. So now you actually give it like a lot.
Yeah.
I will give it a 8 out of 10.
Because I think like overall this is a very good show. But if you go episode by episode, the second half of it is not as good as the first half. But as a whole, it's a very good show.
I don't like it that much.
Really?
I like the idea of it. That's why I gave it a lot of points, but I wouldn't watch it again.
I would watch it again just for the games.
You like the games?
Well, the first time you watch it, you don't catch like the clues and the hints and stuff. The second time around, you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I would have figured that out.
Yeah.
All right, so that was our review of Alice in Borderland series on Netflix. I liked it a lot. You liked it a lot, right? We would definitely recommend this to all you guys. Our next video will be on theories and predictions for Alice in Borderland Season 2, so stay tuned for that video.